Please note, the look and feel of the member's back office has been completely updated to what you'll see in this video. You can see it in the overview video as our featured demo, or feel free to contact us for a live demo to see the enhancements. The core functionality is still there and has been significantly added to. We're making a new back office demo video for your viewing pleasure.
Hello and welcome to the INS MLM Software demonstration of the Members Lounge, otherwise known as the back office. This is mission control for your members. First thing that comes right to the top of the screen here is a quote of the day. We've got an engine of about 5,000 quotes that just pop up in a nice random order. Once a day there's a new quote here just for a little bit of motivation. If admin had put any custom notes or custom messages to this particular member in, they would actually show above the quote of the day area, and the member would have to agree that they've read them before they could see anything else in their Members Lounge. So let's take a look at the calendar. We've got a great communications feature with how email blasts these days get cut off by the servers at your ISP. It's just not as comfortable as it used to be to do an email blast and know that your members are getting it. So we've got a bunch of communication features built into the system, of which the first one is this calendar. If you look over at this red item, this is actually an item that we put onto the calendar from admin. If you put an item onto the calendar from admin, every member sees it in red. The member can then click on that item to get a little bit more information about it. The member can choose between day view, week view, month view, all within the calendar. The member themselves can also put items onto the calendar. If the member puts an item onto the calendar, it only shows for the member. Interestingly enough, the auto prospecting or the email marketing software add-in can also automatically populate important phone calls and stuff to this calendar. So here's the item that I put in a little bit earlier from this particular Members Lounge, just so that we could see it in this demo, and it basically just says an item to show in this demo. If I wanted to add another item, I can click on the Add Item button. I can then pick what day. Here it'll come up on the 11th of June. I can just put, very simple, click Add, and that will now show as a member-entered item onto this particular calendar. So now this particular day is going to have two different items on it, both at the same time, interestingly enough. See the two items on the calendar. So this is a fantastic function for the members to use to keep their business under control, and for admin to use as a way to communicate all the important events and what's going on within the company. Okay, so details. If we take a look here, here's where the member can change their details, change their address. So they can change a whole bunch of information about themselves, so they don't have to call the company to say, can you please change my email address, or can you please change my address? They can do it all themselves in a self-serve mode. You can see they even change their own password of their website, their security question and answer. Everything's changeable by the member. So we've looked at calendar, we've looked at details. Now we're going to go into the options section. The options section has a whole bunch of interesting features. The first and probably one of the most important is, once your members have earned commissions, how do they get the money out? Well, with our advanced personal account system, there's quite a few options for how the person would like to get their money out. So they could say that they'd like to get their money out every commission period. So they could say, yes, pay me every week or every month, depending on what your commission plan is. They can select from the payment types that they picked up which way they'd like to be paid, and then they can have the details of where they're getting paid. They could also say, you know what, I don't want any money until I've got $1,000 in my personal account. This is really handy if you do any expansion outside of Canada and the U.S. for members who have huge service fees for cashing North American checks. Very famous in Japan. You send a check to someone in Japan for $50. It actually costs them $50 in service fees to cash that check. So this function was made with those people in mind to say, leave behind $1,000 before you send me a check, so it's worth the service charges to take the check. Now, we can also make a little setting here of how much money to leave behind in the account. So you can say, give me all the money after I get over $1,000, but leave $50 behind to cover my auto ship. And then, of course, we can also fill in a little checkbox here that says, do you want your auto ship payment to come out of your personal account first if there's sufficient funds? Lots of people would prefer it not to show up in their credit card. So here you could set it up to say, don't send me money until I have over $1,000. Once I have that, leave behind $50 of it, and make sure that my auto ship always comes out of my personal account when there's money. So the member could have their auto ships always coming out of their personal account, which means it's coming out of their earnings. You're saving Visa discount fees, You're saving chargeback risk. It's just a phenomenal system in today's MLM marketplace. Let's take a look at placement preference. Placement preference, depending on the commission plan you're using. Some people have placement, some people don't. This particular system is going to show you how placement preference for a binary works, where you'll basically just have to select left, right, or automatic. Of course, in your configuration document, you can tell us what automatic means, whether it's one on the left, one on the right. If you have a placement matrix, this would show each and every leg where people can pick what leg their next person is going to go into. And actually, when you get into a matrix, this becomes very, very expandable, where you can say, put the next 4 people under Joe, put the next 3 people under Fred. And again, depending if you allow inside placement or just outside placement, the options that come up here for future placement preference can be very, very interesting and helpful to the growth of your business. Website, this is actually the magical little place where you can set up the About Me page. So of course on the public area of the site, there's a little place called About Me that every member gets control of. They can go ahead and write whatever they want. They can add a bunch of HTML to it. They can upload pictures to it. They can do all kinds of fun stuff here. Uploading picture, let's just go take a look. You click change or view your current photo, and you'll see a picture of me actually at TechEd in Australia in 2006. So you can upload the image directly from your computer, or you can actually go and pick an image that's already on the internet to display. You do have to hit F5 after you put it on, which will refresh your screen and make it show up. And it's very important that it is a JPEG file type. Okay, AutoShip. If your company has an automatic shipment or a monthly order requirement or whatever, this is where the member can control their own AutoShip. So no longer do you need to have your AutoShip controlled by admin and have people faxing stuff in 7 days in advance. The member can just come in and put things on or take things off of AutoShip anytime they like. So I'm just adding an item to AutoShip right now, and you can see now that I've added an item to the AutoShip. You can hit 0 as quantity, and that'll actually take the item off your AutoShip, so the member is in complete control. The member can also decide how they want to pay for their AutoShip. They can say pay it on my personal account, or they can say pay it out of their credit card. It just depends on what payment types they have set up and how they'd like to do things. Okay, we'll go back to the main members menu, and we'll carry on with product order. Won't get into this in a whole bunch, but the way the system works is you can actually have different products available from within the members lounge for purchase than are available from the public area of the site. So as you've seen, if you've watched our admin demo, the controls that you have over all of your products are just simply phenomenal. So if you had said that you wanted something to show up for the members to purchase, then that would actually show up right here if a member pushed product order. Finances, we'll go have a quick look in finances. There's some interesting things there. Invoices, a member can take a look at all their previous invoices. So they can see each and every invoice. They can drill right down to a detail level, all under the finances area. And you can see a list of every order that they've ever done. You can see the status of that order, and if you click on the order number, you can drill down to the detail level of that order. And if they wanted to reprint this out, they could. And that's actually spawned a new window. You can see me clicking between 2 windows now. It's actually spawned a new window, so then they're done with it. They just close it. And earnings. Earnings report is a very advanced earnings report to where the earnings report can be drilled down right to the level of who paid how much to this member, or who did this member earn from, right down to the detail level. So we can see total earnings $3,000. If there was multiple periods, there'd be multiple periods showing here. We can see the commission type is referral. If I click on that $3,000, it's now going to drill down to a bit more detail. It's going to tell me which level I got paid from. And I can see that on level 0, I made $2,400, and on level 1, I made $12,000. If I kept going down, it would just go down one more level to say that I got paid $50 from Joe and $40 from Frank. So it's a very, very detailed earnings report that your members can see. Depending on how you fill out the configuration document with us, this could either be dynamic real-time, or this would be updated daily or updated monthly, depending on your preferences and what system of ours you purchased. We'll go look in the withdrawal area. This is for a one-time only withdrawal. So if someone hasn't set up automatic preferences and they just simply want to get paid a certain amount of money right now, they would just come in here, they'd type in how much money they want, they'd say which way they want it to come from, and they'd hit next. Of course, I've asked for $500. There's only $50 in my account, so it's going to just turn around and give me an error message that says you can't withdraw more money than you have. Also, there's a convenient link back to that other page where you actually can set up your automatic withdrawal settings from here. Payment types, this is where the member would go in and fill in the payment types, again based upon the configuration document that you fill in. If you allowed check and money order and international wire transfer and all these different types of ways to be paid their commissions, then all of them would show up in the drop-down box and they would just go in and fill in the appropriate information to be allowed to use that payment type. So in this case, I had it set to check. And now I've just come into PayPal, and you can see that with PayPal, it's asking me the name and the email address to put in for the PayPal payment to be processed to. So payment types, you can configure as many of them as you'd like. You can support as many online payment processors as you wish. It's not all going to be real-time processing, but you'd have to have us do some customization for batch processing if you wanted batch processing, or you could just process them from the lists that would be automatically generated within the system. With PayPal, the batch processing CSV is already done, so you can do a mass pay through PayPal if you like. And that's a little bit about payment type summaries. Okay, we're going to go back to the root directory of the Members Lounge or the Members Back Office once again. Okay, we've looked at finances. Transfer funds. As if you've watched the admin demo, you know that we have a very advanced personal account system, and that personal account system deals with the ability for members to move money around within the system and sign people up without credit cards. Well, the transfer area that we're in right now would allow me to transfer any of the money in my personal account to any other member in the system. This would be handy if I've enrolled somebody with a gift certificate and this person now needs to pay their auto ship. They want to send me the money by PayPal because, of course, PayPal is very anti-MLM, liable to abscond with all of your money if you're more than a one-level affiliate program. So best not to use them in an automated way. But that doesn't mean that your members can't use them privately, where one member sends the other guy money and the guy who received the money sends back an intermember transfer within your system to put that money into his friend's account. So this is just the interface for doing that. You can see all of the transfers that have happened, where they came from, where they went to, all in this area. Gift certificates, again, the reverse of this. It's for someone who isn't in the process yet. So a member can actually send money to somebody to sign up with. So let's say your sign-up fee is only $100 and this guy sent $150. He'd just come in here and he'd create a new gift certificate for $150. The person he sent it to would get the $150 as a gift certificate with a special code, and when they signed up, they just simply put the code into the box during sign-up, and their personal account would be credited with $150. The sign-up of $100 would come out of it, so they'd actually be signed up and have $50 in their account for the next auto ship. So very, very handy. Gets you away from relying on credit cards. Oh, one thing I didn't mention, there's a fee. You can actually set a service fee for the use of gift certificates and intermember transfers. This can be particularly helpful if you're running a very aggressive commission plan with a very high payout. This is actually a little bit of a way to bring some money back through in the back end so you can keep that very aggressive payout. Redeem, you can also use gift certificates, kind of like intermember transfers, where if someone sent you one, you can just redeem it into your account, not necessarily do it with a sign-up. And actually, with your list of gift certificates, until they're cashed, you actually have the ability to withdraw one. And I haven't created any here. Now, maybe I'll just do that real quick. Let's create a gift certificate really quick. I'm going to make a gift certificate for $25. Test gift certificate. And I'm going to email it to myself. Once I've added this gift certificate, I will now be able to see all of my gift certificates under summary. And I can see that there's a gift certificate. I can see the code. This is handy for the member because if the member sends the email and the email doesn't get there, he can just talk the fellow through it on the phone. Say, look, put in this gift certificate number and take care of it. And you can see if it's redeemed by. We can see that the current status is active because it hasn't been redeemed yet, which means there's a cancel button. I can cancel right up until the certificate's redeemed. So the member has the ability to change his mind, or if his money didn't show up or whatever, until the gift certificate is used, the member can actually cancel it. Okay, so we're going to go back to the members root directory. We've looked at gift certificates. We've looked at intermember transfers. Genealogy. Always important for your members to know who's in their group. This is a daily updated list text-based format genealogy. Not everyone wants to use it, but it's available to you if you want. Again, depending how you fill out your configuration document, this will be available. It's all sortable by column headings, so you can actually sift and sort through the data. Again, the members have a lot of control of information in their business. They can also see how much volume was placed by the person. They can see how much volume there is on auto ship with each person in their downline. You have the ability to turn on phone number visibility if you want. There's no need to turn on email addresses because you can actually hot link to email to anybody in the system right from the genealogy report. So if we click on a placement username, it'll actually pop up the ability for me to send an email to whoever that is. So there's lots of inter-member communication capabilities within the system without you ever needing to display emails, which makes things very dangerous from the point of view of networking. So I would just go in here and I'd put in whatever I'm going to send to them, and I'd push go, and that would be that. I would have sent an email to that particular member. Okay, so that is the genealogy, updated daily. That is not a real-time report. Now we'll take a look at the sponsor viewer. This is just going to show me everybody that I've enrolled, regardless of the commission plan. It's going to show all the people I personally enrolled on my first level. It's going to show all the people under that on the second level, and so on and so forth. So this doesn't care about placement at all. This is effectively taking whatever commission plan you have and showing it in a unilevel viewer, essentially. Okay, if you had a unilevel or a matrix, then you'd see a viewer much like this one. This is just a different view. Now this is actually caring about placement and who's under who and who's under who. So this one's a little bit more useful for most members in managing their downline. And all you do is click to drill down through the downline. A 5-wide matrix, then you'd see 5 frontline positions, but you can just keep drilling down until you get to the bottom. Over here, because this is a demo system, there's a bunch of extra titles and stuff that wouldn't exist, but normally your titles would show up with an icon, and whatever title that person achieved would show up nice and neat right over here. Okay, that's your viewer unilevel. If you were a binary or a 2-wide matrix, you'd also have available to you this particular viewer. And this is more of a graphical style viewer, and again, you can just drill down with the arrow buttons, or you can jump to any username in the system. So if you know the person you want to see from that person down, you just put their username in up here, and you click jump to username. Of course, you can't go up above yourself. That's a little bit different. In admin, you could actually click the up button from anywhere and go up. But in members, of course, we can't let you go above your own self, or you'd effectively have access to the entire corporate tree, which would be bad. It's the viewer binary. OMSIS. This, if you have hooked up the email marketing tool, a member would access the email marketing tool from this link. So here I've just jumped in. We're seeing mission control for the email marketing tool that we call OMSIS. Everything you need. There's some tutorials. This is showing the URL that you'd go to see it. Won't spend any time here as we have full demos on this whole area elsewhere on our website. So I'm going to go back to the Members Lounge and finish the Members Lounge tour. Email downline. You can choose to have an email downline function available or unavailable, and it's really simple. Members come in, they put in their email, and they can decide distributors only, customers only, or both. So if you have distributors and customers in your program, they can actually decide to email only the customers or the distributors or both. This keeps your customers customers without getting frustrated from getting the MLM stuff. Okay, FAQ is just where they can actually see all of the questions and answers that have come up through your system. So as you're using the admin FAQ engine and you're building that FAQ out, this is just how the members see the members only. Because, of course, when you're adding FAQs from admin, you can choose whether they're viewable by everyone, viewable only to members, or viewable to only admin. So this would be where you could set to see the non-members and the members' versions of the FAQs. Support, this of course is where the member puts in a request for support. So if they don't find what they're looking for in the FAQ, they would come in here to submit a ticket to you to ask a question. Thank you very much for your time. That winds up our Members Lounge tour.